I saw a book the other day. The title was You Must Relax. You must relax. Do you see the problem? The moment you make relaxation into a must, you've turned it into tension. Another task on your endless list. Another achievement you're supposed to accomplish. Another failure waiting to happen. Try to relax right now. Go ahead, try harder, force yourself to be calm, make an effort to let go. You'll find you're more tense than ever, more anxious, more worried about whether you're doing it right. This is the trap, and it's everywhere. How to meditate, how to love, how to breathe, how to sleep, how to be happy, how to be spiritual, how to be successful, how to be peaceful. Everything has been reduced to technique, to method, to systems and steps and strategies. Life itself has become a problem to be solved, a project to be managed. And you are the manager, constantly worried, constantly planning, constantly trying to fix something that was never broken. The whole world has become obsessed with how-toism, how to do this, how to do that, as if life is a technology, as if you are a machine that needs the right manual, the right instructions, the right programming. But life is not a technology. Life is not something you do. Life is something you are. Yet everywhere you look, there are books, courses, seminars, teachers, gurus, all promising to teach you how to live as if you don't already know, as if you need someone else's technique to breathe, to love, to be. And what has this created? More confusion, more anxiety, more tension. Because now you're not just living, you're constantly evaluating whether you're living correctly, whether you're doing it right, whether you're following the right method. You cannot even breathe anymore without wondering if you're breathing correctly. You cannot love without questioning if you're loving properly. You cannot simply be without worrying that you're not being enough. This is insanity. But it seems normal to you now because everyone is doing it. Everyone is running the same race, chasing the same goals, following the same instructions on how to live. But let me tell you something that will shock you. Life has no goal, no destination, no purpose that you need to achieve, no finish line you need to cross. This will disturb you. Your whole education, your whole conditioning has taught you the opposite, that life is about achieving something, becoming someone, reaching somewhere important, making something of yourself. But life is not a journey from here to there. Life is here, right now, this moment. And if you are always running toward tomorrow, you will miss it completely. You are running a race that doesn't exist. From the very beginning, from the first day you entered school, you were taught to compete, to win, to be first, to be better than others, to prove yourself. Life became an Olympic race, and everyone around you became your competitor. Your brother is not your brother anymore. He is your competitor. Your friend is not your friend. She is your competitor. Your neighbor, your colleague, even the stranger on the street all competitors in this endless race towards some invisible finish line that keeps moving further away the closer you think you are getting. And what are you racing toward? Nobody really knows. Success, they say, achievement, recognition, security, happiness. But what is success? When will you know you've achieved it? How much is enough? When can you finally stop running and rest? Never, because the finish line keeps moving. Every time you think you're getting close, it shifts. You finish school, but now you must finish college. You finish college, but now you must get a good job. You get a job, but now you must get promoted. You get promoted, but now you must earn more, achieve more, become more important. There is no end to it. The race never stops. And if you slow down, if you pause to breathe, to look around, to actually live for a moment, you are called a failure, a dropout, a loser. As if slowing down is a crime, as if relaxing is laziness, as if being present in this moment is wasting time. But nobody asks the real question: what is this race? Where is it going? Who created it? And why are you running? For 25 years, one full third of your life, you are put through an educational system. Your youth, your energy, your aliveness, the most vibrant years you will ever have. And what is this system teaching you? Not how to live, not how to love, not how to be present and aware and alive. No, it's teaching you to achieve, to compete, to memorize information you'll forget, to prepare for a future that may never come, to turn yourself into an achieving machine. At 17 and a half years old, you are at your absolute peak. Your body is fully alive. Your energy is overflowing. Your sexuality is at its height. Nature has made you complete. You are ready for life. But what are you doing? Sitting in a classroom, preparing for exams, memorizing dates and formulas, chasing grades and certificates, being trained, systematically trained to become an achiever, to become someone who is always running, always competing, always worried about the next goal. By the time you are 25, you are exhausted, old before your time. Your energy has been drained. Your aliveness has been squeezed out of you. You have been poisoned with ambition. And what have you achieved? A degree, a certificate, a piece of paper that says you are now qualified to enter the next race, the race for money, for status, for security, for success, the race that will consume the rest of your life. This is what I call poisonous education, not because knowledge is bad, not because learning is wrong, but because it creates a certain type of mind, an achieving mind, a worried mind, a competitive mind, a mind that is never satisfied, never at peace, never here, always somewhere else, always running toward the next goal. And this mind will follow you everywhere. It will poison your relationships, it will poison your work, it will even poison your spiritual search. Everything becomes a goal. Everything becomes a competition. Everything becomes a race you must win. Even love becomes a race. A man and a woman meet. They are beautiful together. There is something fresh between them, something alive, intimacy, joy, a sense of deep connection. But the moment they become husband and wife, something changes. The innocence disappears, the freshness dies, and the game begins. Now it is not love anymore. Now it is politics, a power struggle. Who will dominate? Who will control? Who will be the boss? Who will win? The husband wants to rule. The wife wants to rule. Both are competing. Both are playing the same Olympic game they learned in school. Both have forgotten completely why they came together in the first place. They came together for love, for intimacy, for companionship, but now they are enemies, polite enemies perhaps, civilized enemies, but enemies nonetheless. Always watching each other, always calculating, always trying to win some invisible game. And love disappears. It cannot survive in a competitive mind. It cannot flower where there is politics, where there is the constant desire to dominate, to control, to possess. This is what has happened to humanity. Life has been turned into competition. Intimacy has been turned into power struggle. Joy has been turned into achievement. Love has been turned into possession. And you wonder why you are miserable. You wonder why, despite all your success, despite all your achievements, despite having everything you thought you wanted, there is this emptiness inside. This gnawing feeling that something essential is missing. Nothing is missing, but everything has been poisoned by this competitive mind, by this achieving mind, by this Olympic mentality. You say you want peace, but you live in constant war. You say you want rest, but you're always in a hurry. You say you want to relax, but you've turned relaxation itself into another must, another technique, another thing you need to achieve. People joke that if you are successful, you are guaranteed a heart attack between 42 and 48. They joke, but it's true. Look around. All the successful people, all the ambitious people, all the people who won the race, they all end up the same way. Heart attacks, nervous breakdowns, ulcers, insomnia, medication, therapy, a psychiatrist's couch, and a deep, deep emptiness that no achievement can fill. Nothing went wrong. This is what success looks like. This is what winning the race delivers. You run and run and run, faster and faster, and at the end you collapse. And only then, lying in a hospital bed, staring at the ceiling, do you finally ask, what was I running for? What was I trying to achieve? What was the point of it all? But you cannot see this yet. You are too busy running, too busy trying, too busy achieving, too busy competing. And if anyone tells you to slow down, you think they are telling you to give up, to be lazy, to fail, to become a dropout. No, I'm not telling you to give up. I'm telling you to wake up. Wake up and see that the race itself is a dream, a nightmare you were taught to believe was real, a conditioning so deep so total that you cannot even imagine life without it. Let me tell you a story, a true story. A politician came to me once. He had been in politics for more than 20 years, working day and night, scheming, planning, competing with others, trying to climb higher and higher on the ladder of power. He came to me and said, "I want to learn meditation. I have been trying to become the chief minister for 20 years now, but I have not succeeded. I have tried everything else. Maybe meditation will help me. Maybe it will give me some inner power, some technique, some secret that will help me win." I looked at him for a long moment. Then I said, "You cannot meditate." He was shocked, offended even. "Why not? I'm sincere. I'll practice every day. I'll do whatever you say. I'll follow any discipline you give me." I said, "That's exactly the problem. You want to use meditation as a technique, as a tool to achieve something, as a means to an end. But meditation is not a technique. It is the absence of all techniques. It is not a means to anything. It is an end in itself." He didn't understand. So I explained further. A meditator naturally moves slowly. Meditation creates silence. It creates relaxation. A deep letting go of all ambition, all hurry, all competition, all desire to achieve anything. But you want to use meditation to compete better, to achieve more, to win faster. You want to ride two horses at once, moving in opposite directions. It's impossible. I told him, the political mind and the meditative mind cannot exist together. They are diametrically opposed. If you are ambitious, you cannot be meditative. If you are in a hurry, you cannot be still. If you are trying to become someone, you cannot simply be yourself. You have to choose. You cannot have both. He went away angry. He thought I was refusing to teach him. But I wasn't refusing. I was simply showing him the truth. That he cannot meditate as long as he remains a politician. Not because of his profession, but because of his mind, the competitive mind, the achieving mind. The mind that turns everything into a means to some end. And this is not just his problem. This is everyone's problem. This is your problem. You want peace, but you want it so you can be more successful. You want to relax, but you want it so you can work harder tomorrow. You want to meditate, but you want it so you can achieve something. Everything becomes a means. Nothing is valuable in itself. This moment is not valuable. Only tomorrow matters. Only the goal matters. Only the achievement matters. But tomorrow never comes. It is always tomorrow, and you spend your whole life running toward it, missing today completely, missing this moment, missing life itself. There was another man, an astrologer. He was very famous in his town. People came from far away to consult him about their future. He would study the stars, read their birth charts, and predict what would happen in their lives, when they would get married, when they would have children, when they would become rich, when they would die. One day, he was walking down the road, his head tilted back, his eyes fixed on the sky, studying the stars as he always did. He was so absorbed in reading what was happening millions of miles away that he didn't see what was right in front of him. He fell into a well. An old woman was passing by. She heard him shouting for help. She came to the edge of the well, looked down at him, struggling in the water, and helped him climb out. As he stood there, dripping wet, shivering, cursing his bad luck, she looked at him with wise old eyes and said, "You can see what's happening millions of miles away in the stars, but you cannot see what's 2 feet in front of you. This is the mind, your mind, everyone's mind, always concerned with the distant future. What will happen tomorrow? What will happen next month? What will happen next year? What will happen in 10 years? What will happen after death? Always somewhere else, always some other time. But it cannot see this moment, cannot see where you are standing right now, cannot see what's right in front of you, cannot see the well you are about to fall into. And this moment is all there is. There is nothing else. There never was, there never will be. The beggar sitting on the street and the emperor sitting in his palace, both are in the same moment. The only difference is what they are thinking about. The beggar is worried about his next meal. The emperor is worried about his kingdom. Both are absent. Both are somewhere else. Both are in their minds, planning, worrying, running. And both are equally miserable. But if you wake up, even for a single moment, if you stop running and just see where you are, right now, in this very moment, everything changes. You realize there is no race. There never was. It was a dream, a story you were told, a conditioning you believed without ever questioning it. The race is in your mind. The competition is in your mind. The goal is in your mind. The achieving is in your mind. And the suffering, that's in your mind too. But the moment you see this, really see it, not just understand it intellectually, you are free. The chains fall away, the burden lifts, the race ends. Except freedom is terrifying, more terrifying than the race itself, more frightening than slavery, because at least in slavery, you know what to do. You know your place. You know the rules. You know who you are supposed to be. Let me tell you one more story, a true story from history. When the French Revolution happened, the revolutionaries stormed the Bastille prison. They broke open the doors and freed all the prisoners. Some of these prisoners had been locked up for 50 years. 50 years in chains, in darkness, in tiny cells. Half a century of their lives spent behind bars. The revolutionaries threw open the doors and shouted, "You are free, come out. The revolution has succeeded. You are no longer prisoners, you are no longer slaves." But something strange happened. Many prisoners refused to leave. They stayed in their cells. Some clung to their chains, crying they didn't want to be free. The revolutionaries were confused. They tried to force them out. Don't you understand? You're free. You can go anywhere, do anything. You're no longer prisoners. But the prisoners said, "No, we want to stay. This is our home. These chains are our security. We know how to live here. We don't know how to live out there." And within a few days, those who did reluctantly leave came back to the prison gates. They stood outside, crying, begging, "Give us our chains back. We cannot sleep without them. We cannot live without them. Please lock us up again." For 50 years, those chains had become part of their identity, part of their routine, part of their sense of security. They had learned how to live with them. They had adjusted to the weight. They had learned to sleep with the sound of metal clinking in the darkness. The chains had become comfortable. Without the chains, they felt naked, exposed, vulnerable, embarrassed, lost. They had no idea who they were without those chains. They had no idea what to do with freedom. They preferred slavery, because at least in slavery they knew who they were. They knew their place. They knew what was expected of them. They knew the rules. Freedom was too vast, too open, too unknown, too frightening. This is what has happened to you. You lived in invisible chains your whole life. Goals, ambitions, duties, expectations, responsibilities, the race, the competition, the need to achieve, to become, to prove yourself, to win, to succeed, to be someone important. These chains are so familiar now that they feel like part of you. You cannot imagine life without them. You don't even recognize them as chains anymore. You think they are just the way life is, just what you're supposed to do, just being responsible, or being mature, or being realistic. But they are chains nonetheless, and they are crushing you slowly, steadily, day by day. And when freedom is offered, when someone tells you there is no race, there is nothing to achieve, you are already whole, already complete, already enough, you become terrified. You demand your chains back. You say, "But what will I do? What is the meaning of life without goals? How will I know if I am succeeding? How will I measure my worth? How will I know if I am good enough? Who will I be if I am not trying to become someone?" And I say, you will be yourself. Not the self you are trying to create, not the self you are trying to achieve, not the self you think you should be, not the self your parents wanted, not the self society expects, not the self your education trained you to become, but the self that is already here, the self that has always been here, the self that was here before you started running, before you entered the race, before you learned what achievement means, before you were taught to compete. This self needs no improvement, no achievement, no race, no goal, no competition, no technique, no how-to manual, no self-help book, no meditation method. It simply is. And when you relax into this, when you stop trying and start being, something miraculous happens. The tension dissolves, the worry disappears, the hurry stops, the competition ends. You are no longer comparing yourself to others, no longer measuring your worth by your achievements, no longer running after some imaginary finish line. You are simply here, present, alive, breathing, being. For the first time in your life, truly alive, not in your head thinking about tomorrow, not in your memories reliving yesterday, but here, now, in this moment, in this body, in this breath, in this simple, ordinary, extraordinary presence. This is what I mean when I say life has no goal. Not that life is meaningless, not that you should do nothing, not that ambition is bad or achievement is wrong, but that life itself is the meaning. This moment is the meaning. This breath is the meaning. This presence is the meaning. Not tomorrow, not when you achieve something, not when you become someone, not when you win the race, not when you finally relax, but now, right now. This is it. This is all there is. This is everything. You must relax. That was the title of the book. And it's absurd, completely absurd, because the must is the problem, the trying is the problem, the goal of relaxation is the problem. Relaxation is not something you do, it's not something you achieve, it's not a technique you practice, it's not a state you reach after following 10 steps. Relaxation is what happens when you stop doing, when you stop trying, when you stop running, when you drop the race, when you let go of the goal, when you simply stop. Just stop. Not because I am telling you to, not because it's another technique you should follow, not because stopping will make you more successful or more spiritual or more enlightened, but simply because the race is exhausting you, the trying is killing you, the achieving is taking you further and further away from yourself, further and further from life, further and further from this simple, beautiful, ordinary moment. And one day, maybe today, maybe years from now, you will look back and realize that you spent your whole life running towards something that was already here, chasing something you already had, trying to become someone you already were. So stop right now, not tomorrow, not after you finish this one last task, not after you achieve this one last goal. Now, and see what happens. You might feel embarrassed, like those prisoners without their chains. You might feel lost, like you don't know what to do with yourself. You might feel uncomfortable, like you're wasting time, like you're being lazy, like you're giving up. Good. That embarrassment, that discomfort, that not knowing, that is the beginning. That is the crack in the prison wall. That is the first breath of freedom. That is the moment when the race ends and life begins. That is the moment when you stop running toward yourself and discover that you were always already here.